Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to discuss about debit card. So without wasting any time, let's start. Also called check cards or bank cards, debit cards can be used to buy goods or services or to get cash from an ATM. Debit cards can help you reduce the need to carry cash, although using these cards can sometimes entail fees. Key takeaways. Debit cards are payment cards that reduce the need to carry cash or physical checks to make purchases. You can use debit cards at ATMs to withdraw cash. Debit card purchases may require a personal identification number, PIN, but some purchases can be made without one. You may be charged an ATM transaction fee if you use your debit card to withdraw cash from an ATM that's not affiliated with your bank. Some debit cards offer rewards, similar to credit card rewards, such as 1% back on purchases. How a debit card works. A debit card is a card linked to your checking account. It looks like a credit card, but it works differently. The amount of money you can spend on a debit card is determined by the amount of funds in your account, not by a credit limit such as credit cards carry. Unlike with a credit card, you do not go into debt when you use a debit card because you are using it to access funds you already have. You do not have to make monthly minimum payments on a debit card because there is no debt to repay. You can use a debit card to get cash from an ATM, or you can make purchases with it like you make purchases with credit cards. With debit cards, you may need to enter your PIN, personal identification number, although many debit cards can be used to make purchases without a PIN. Debit cards draw the funds immediately from the affiliated account. So, your spending is limited to what's available in your checking account, and the exact amount of money you have to spend will fluctuate along with your account balance. Debit cards usually have daily purchase limits, meaning you can't spend more than a certain amount in one 24-hour period. How debit cards work. Debit card fees. Generally, debit cards do not have annual membership fees or cash advance charges, but there are other potential fees to consider. ATM transaction fee. If you withdraw cash from an ATM that's not affiliated with the bank that issued your debit card, you may be charged an ATM transaction fee. These fees are also called out-of-network fees. Insufficient funds fee. If you use the card to spend more than you have in your account, you can face an insufficient funds charge. These fees are also called non-sufficient funds (NSF) fees. Overdraft fee. If you've registered for overdraft protection and spend more than your limit, your purchase will go through, but you will incur overdraft fees. Replacement card fee. You might incur a replacement card fee if your debit card is lost, damaged, or stolen and you need to order a new card. Foreign transaction fee. If you use your debit card to make a purchase in a foreign currency, you could get charged a foreign transaction fee, such as 3% on the transaction amount. A prepaid debit card is like a gift card in that it allows you to spend a sum that's been loaded onto the card. Fees for prepaid debit cards can include monthly maintenance fees, transaction fees, ATM fees, reloading fees, balance inquiry fees, inactivity fees, paper statement fees, and foreign transaction fees. Debit card versus credit card. Many bank debit cards are issued by credit card companies, so it may seem like there is little distinction between credit and debit cards. For example, a MasterCard debit card can look like a MasterCard credit card. However, they differ in many ways, from the way they finance a purchase to the amount of consumer protections they provide. Here is a comparison of some of their main features in more detail. Financing. Credit cards and debit cards work in fundamentally different ways in terms of how they use your money. Using a debit card to make a purchase is like writing a check or paying with cash. You're paying for the item with funds in your bank account, not with revolving credit. When you use a credit card, you're essentially using a revolving loan. The credit card company pays the merchant, then bills you for the amount. You repay it when you get your monthly statement. If you don't repay the full amount, you pay interest on the remaining portion the following month. Rewards. Some debit cards offer reward programs, similar to credit card rewards programs, such as 1% cashback on all purchases. However, rewards programs are more common with credit cards, which can offer better terms with an introductory offer, cashback rewards, travel points, and other perks. Protections. By law, you cannot be held responsible for more than $50 of fraudulent purchases made on a debit or credit card, as long as you report the fraud in a timely manner. However, credit card companies often extend their protections to provide zero liability to cardholders. ATM use. You can get cash with both debit and credit cards. But when you get cash using a credit card, you're borrowing money with a cash advance. If you use your credit card for cash, you may pay interest on the funds starting right when you withdraw them. You may also pay a transaction fee and pay a higher interest rate than you would on purchases. You don't carry a balance on a debit card because each time you use it, you're paying with money that already belongs to you. So there are no interest charges. Pros and cons debit cards. Pros. Safer than cash. Doesn't incur debt. Easier qualifications than credit cards. Cons. Limits expenditures to cash in bank and or a daily amount. Could incur fees. Fewer perks than credit cards. Fewer protections than credit cards. Pros explained. Safer than cash, debits are considerably safer than cash. Doesn't incur debt. With debit cards, you are effectively making purchases in cash, with money you already have, as opposed to money borrowed on credit.